Hello, welcome to the second episode of Movie Ends Podcast Begins, the number one movie podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and every other podcast streaming service that is out there. How are you, Griffin?
Oh, fantastic. Just
I'm
fantastic.
I'm glad that you're feeling well. What do you think of this movie that we watched? We didn't watch it this week, but we watched it last week, I guess.
Yeah, well, uh it's not that great, Chief.
It's not the
Really
best.
it's not even like it's not even on a list of of like the goods, you know what I'm saying? It's just bad. Like
It's
we're gonna take a deep dive into it, but it's not that great.
as deep a dive as you can actually go into it, though probably you can't even go that deep into it. Again, it's just a kids movie. So,
A really bad one too.
yeah, and that
Like
kids movie, it, would you like to say the name, Griffin?
Shorts by Robert Rodriguez.
You may have heard of Robert Rodriguez from the hit motion cinema pictures such as Spy Kids, Spy Kids 2, Spy Kids 3D,
Game over.
Game Over, Spy
With
Kids 3D Game Over.
for some reason they had like Sylvester Stallone in that movie.
He was
Like
in that movie?
yeah, he was the villain. I
He
think. Yeah.
was?
Yeah, he like
I
no, he like literally had an entire evil council in the movie where it's just all him, but they're wearing different costumes.
Christ.
so, so
I saw that movie back when I was like maybe 11 or 12, something like that. I don't
I saw it
remember
when I was
anything about it.
like saw it when I was like 7, I think. I
Yeah.
remember when they had Elijah Wood there for like 10 seconds and then he dies.
And which one 3D?
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, it's that guy." Like I think they actually have a character called that, like the guy. Yeah, you know what? It was the guy, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's the guy!" And it was Elijah Wood, and I think it was a big deal having him in that movie because it was 2003, and he was like already riding off the success of like Lord of the Rings. So they're so they're just like, "Yeah, well, I'm gonna just put Elijah in a shitty kids movie for like 10 seconds and just kill his character," and they did that. It was funny.
Yeah, maybe if we put Elijah Wood in this movie, we'll get some traction. Robert
Yeah.
Rodriguez was banking on it.
That was his plan all along.
Um, but but anyway, the Spy Kids movies. But probably my favorite, and probably everyone else's favorite from Robert Rodriguez is Shark Boy and Lava Girl, The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Obviously, right?
I mean, he destroyed my dream journal.
He destroyed
Uh,
my dream journal. I
I did
no.
not. It's like just like the dialogue in that movie. It's just like kids don't talk like that, especially
I'd,
like that kid. Like kids don't talk like that. Voice
I'd
crack.
really
Sorry.
love, I'd really love to do an episode on Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but that is
Yeah.
not what we're here to talk about today. We are here to talk about probably, I think, one of, it's like, I remember this movie just because I think I saw a commercial for it once when I was like
Yeah.
8. Yeah, I saw the commercial and then I never heard anything from it again.
Yeah. Nobody talked about it. It just came and went.
It just came and went. It earned its money. It had a budget of like 20 million, but I think it grossed like 29, 30 million,
Yeah.
something
I
like
mean, you
that.
can see it just didn't have much of a big budget compared to other movies because the CGI in this movie just looks like it's using a freaking Mucinex commercial. It's just
This ain't
so
no
bad.
this ain't no Alita Battle Angel, folks, which is also directed by Robert Rodriguez
Yeah, yeah.
that I
Shorts
dreamed
is my favorite anime.
of. Shorts is my favorite anime, but you know what else is? You know what's better than Shorts though?
What?
Pulp Fiction, because basically this
Oh,
movie is just Pulp Fiction for children.
yeah. It's like it's structured as like what, like an anthology. These
I don't know
like I don't know what you call it anthology, but it's just like different segments.
yeah, I don't know if
But
anthology is the right word. It's just
no.
Robert Rodriguez decided in his brilliant brain that he was going to make this movie out of order for some reason.
Oh, before we get into that, do you want to just talk about like what the movie is about real quick?
Obviously, that's
Just
probably
for
an important part.
context.
This movie is so out there and the plot is so irrelevant that you just completely forget about it. But
You
yeah,
really do.
I can talk about the plot. I can summarize the plot in like 2 sentences. So, rock falls out of the sky. It can grant any wish that you want. Wacky hijinks ensue. That's
That's
basically
really
it.
it. There's just like it's just the rocks there. That's it. That's the movie.
There is no like backstory for the rock. It just kind of appears out of nowhere. And of course, um, the
What?
rock lands in the hands of all the kids in the neighborhood. So obviously, kids with the power to wish for anything they want won't go over well.
Oh no. It's not like I've seen that in every goddamn kids movie ever produced.
This is not a very original movie.
No, it's not. It's just like it's yeah, I know a horror movie version of this, even though it came out like years later after Shorts. It's literally just Wish Upon,
Which
but just where you ever watch Wish
It's
Upon?
been so long since I've seen Wish Upon, or have I
Oh,
seen it? I might be thinking of something else. What's it
I've
about
seen it.
again?
It's just dog shit. Please don't watch it. It's so
Okay, I'll have to
bad.
look it up after this.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure if it's on it.
We might have to do an episode on it. I don't know.
Please.
It's
Um, but anyway, yes, this movie title called Shorts, um, shortened for Shorts, comma, The Adventures of the Wishing Rock, and it was also released internationally under the title just The Wishing Rock. Um,
I mean,
so I don't know.
I feel like that kind of makes sense because these shorts don't really feel like shorts. You know what I'm saying? They just feel like I was just thinking about it just now. I'm just like they just feel like really drawn out scenes that
Hmm.
like it doesn't even feel like they'll stand on its own like Pulp Fiction did.
Yeah,
Kind of like this whole like, oh, let's just tell it out of order just makes no sense like
yeah,
whatsoever. It didn't really do the movie any favors. It's like, oh, what kind of wacky hijinks are gonna ensue? And then like for some reason there's like they'll just like show something that happened and they'll just pause the movie and the main character's like, wait, let me rewind for a sec. And he does that for like freaking 10 times throughout the damn movie. Like,
Imagine,
why can't you just tell it like, bro, this ain't Memento, just like tell in order.
imagine John Travolta or Bruce Willis just going, "Wait, let me rewind this for a second."
Basically, just like Bruce Willis is in that like he's just strapped to the chair. He's like, "Here, let me rewind for a sec." Oh my god.
uh, I guess we could go about this movie. Yeah, well, I know what you're talking about because Pulp Fiction. I have no idea why we're even bothering to compare. It's like comparing a pile of gold with a pile of dog shit. It's just you can't really compare the two except they're formatted the same. But like you said, they're formatted the same, but for Pulp Fiction, it works so much better.
It makes sense. It's not because like I mean they did have like a driving force, which I guess is like the case,
Uh-huh.
what's in the case and like
Yeah.
in the rock, but like it's not like they had a wouldn't say like like it did have an overarching plot, but like Shorts had an overarching plot. So like
Hmm.
why they had to tell it out of order? I don't get it. Like I don't really don't understand. I don't get what they're going for. what Robert Rodriguez and his children were going for.
Can you explain? Robert Rodriguez apparently wrote this movie with his children.
Yeah, so basically, like, he just he just wants to make a movie with his kids, and it's pretty wholesome,
Yeah.
And they just became his like supervisors. So basically, they just
Mm-hmm.
wrote the script together, and like I'm gonna read an interview, and like they're just like the whoever interviewed Robert Rodriguez. It's like, oh, do you kids ever watch your movies? And he just goes, yeah, but I try not to show them too much because it'll scare them. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think you want to show your kids Sin City. I never, I don't know. I mean, you could. It'd just be weird. You're just Robert Rodriguez's kid, and you're just sitting in your room, and then your father, Mr. Rodriguez, just like walks in the room. He's like, hey, kid, want to watch Sin City? Just like, no, Dad, no.
What was that movie with that Robert Rodriguez made with the girl and she had like a machine gun for a leg? You know what I'm talking about?
Planet Terror, I
Planet
think.
Terror, I think
Yeah, it was part
called.
of like Grindhouse with
Okay.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, his Death Proof movie, which I've yet to see.
Yeah, me
One day,
too.
one
One
day.
day, yeah, one day at a time.
But anyway, I guess we should probably get into the plot of this film. Um, because
Plot? What
we've
kind
already
of plot?
there is no plot. Like I already said, Wishing Rock falls from the sky. Um, the kids find the rock. Wacky hijinks ensue. Um, and I did no research for this movie because unlike Cannibal Holocaust, um, there's like it's a kids movie. There's no themes. There's no like overarching moral. It's just wacky hijinks.
There is just no substance. There is no substance to this movie. I remember reading like a review on Letterboxd, and I guess someone was like really overlooking this movie because they're like this movie is full on communism, which
Basically.
I mean it kind of makes sense because the evil corporations just like evil capitalism or something like that.
Oh yeah, what was it called? Black Box
That was the
Corporation.
name of their invention. I'm trying
It
to.
was something. I
It
can't
was
remember.
something else, but I just like how like the villain's name, the guy, the inventor of Black Box, his last name's Black, and then his first name's Carbon, so it's Carbon Black, and I remember watching this, I'm like, did, did, did children just write this movie? And I was right. They did write this goddamn movie.
Let me yeah, Carbon Black. It's kind of like such a stupid fucking villain. And I'm reading it here. The corporation is called Black Box and
Uh,
the product they make is called Black Box. So,
that's like if Apple made a a product just called Apple.
yeah.
They probably did.
Okay. I guess I should give. I keep saying I'm gonna bring up the plot. I guess a better thing I should say is like, oh wait, before I get into it, let me mention how I really love that we're doing a kids movie. After talking about the very wholesome movie known as Cannibal Holocaust,
Oh yeah, fun for the whole family.
now we've switched from X NC-17 to G. Um,
Yeah,
so
I
that
wonder
should
what I wonder what episode 3 will morph into
we'll have to
with this
see.
kind of pattern.
This is just going to show that this is a podcast for all ages, and for anyone that wants to watch or read. Wait, read? No, I mean listen. Okay, so the background. I have the Wikipedia article up because the Wikipedia article here gives a really good kind of like rundown of every like the movie is done out of order, but on the article you're looking at it, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, on the article it says everything in order. So I guess we could like talk about each little segment and give our thoughts on it. Does that sound good?
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So for the first segment, right? Um I think it stars like the three kids, like the three brothers.
Yeah, I forget. It was like Loogie, and then it was
It was like Laser or something. Just
Blazer,
dumb names.
Blazer, and
Laser and Lug.
Lug.
Okay.
Oh my
It's like Loogie, Laser, and Lug. I think those are the names. Oh, and I think one of the children in this is Robert Rodriguez's kids, I think.
Yeah, I think yeah. No, wait, no. Yes? I don't know.
I
You
think I
see,
read
we're
somewhere.
professionals, guys.
Either way, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
we're
But these
professionals.
three kids are the first ones to find the rock, right? This rock just falls out of the sky. Like I said, there was no reasoning. There's like no like spectacle happens. It's just a rock.
They
Um,
found it at the end of the rainbow.
yeah, they found it at the end of the rainbow, which I should say, it's impossible to find the end of the rainbow, and I hate that that saying exists.
Well,
Um,
too bad. It was
yeah,
using a Robert Rodriguez movie.
since Robert Rodriguez said it, it has to be true.
It has to be true, yeah. Just like how dream journals are real.
Just how dream journals are real. May I mention the color of this rock is just a rainbow. It's an
Rainbow.
LGBTQ friendly rock, which I appreciate.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it too.
Which I think the fact that it's like rainbow colored, I think it's supposed to. Okay, let's be honest here. Robert Rodriguez made it rainbow colored because a lot of colors means it's a lot of stimuli for children to look at.
Yeah.
And it directly correlates with the evil villain's black box because it's
Oh
all
yeah.
boring and whatever, you know. I don't know, I just thought of that.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, no, we definitely gotta just analyze the movie.
I don't know, that's the only thing that's the only thing I
Yeah.
looked into. I was like, this must make sense
Yeah, that makes sense.
because it's like good versus evil sort of shit. I don't know. Robert Rodriguez probably didn't think about this at all, and I'm just focusing too much as the movie buff I am on the themes of a kids movie. So maybe I should just stop.
So they found a rock.
Yeah, they found a rock. I went off on a slight tangent there. Um, yeah, they found a rock. Wacky hijinks ensue.
Like, okay, so like let me just explain one of the things
Yeah.
just that don't make sense. So one of the kids wishes for a fortress, then
Uh-huh.
a like a moat, a river. Then he's just like, "Oh, I got to have alligators that walk on their legs and stuff." And they did that. But then they start like the alligators started chasing them, but they just wished for more crap to happen. Like,
They were walking the alligators were walking on two legs as
couldn't
well.
they just wish the alligators away? I don't get it. Like, they didn't even like explain any like limits to the wishing rock. There were no
There were
limits.
there
Like,
were
they
no
could
limits.
just wish
There
for
was
anything.
a lot of the problems that happen in this movie could just have been solved by saying, "I wish this went away," but no,
Yeah, that
they
whole final battle sequence shouldn't
yeah,
even happen.
the whole final battle sequence, Jesus Christ. But we'll get to that.
Oh yeah.
Uh, jeez. But yeah, there, like I said, not really much to talk about. They make a giant fortress, like you said. They do crocodiles. What else do they make?
Uh, I forget, but it was
Oh,
really dumb.
he said he wanted telekinesis, but he missaid and said
Oh, a phone,
telephonesis,
something like that. And
and
he
then
has like a phone attached to his head. I don't know. It was
a
really
phone appeared
dumb.
to his head. This was a mistake to make to try to analyze. There, I feel like we're trying to analyze it, but it's just not gonna get anywhere.
No.
You know
I'm
what I
gonna be
mean?
here all night, just
We're
like
gonna be here all
scrambling.
night,
Guys,
just scrambling.
we gotta find the truth behind shorts. There's gonna
The
be an underlying message.
the color of the rainbow rock, it completely contradicts the monotony of the entire town. I was like,
Oh. So bad.
Let's move on to the second episode. You're looking at it, right?
Yeah, I am.
Would you like to give a brief description of the second episode?
Okay,
I think
so
that's the episode where they meet the main character.
yeah, even though this is technically episode 1, because
Mm-hmm.
again, it's told out of order, and it's about the main character Toby Thompson, and he's bullied by this mean girl named Helvetica Black, and she's like the daughter of the evil bad guy dude.
The
And
daughter of
then
Carmen Black.
yeah, and then he gets bullied, and then he finds the rock. He finds the one ring of power, and then he's like, "Oh, I wish for some friends." And then it's just these like miniature alien things. It for some reason it reminds me of that one episode of Jimmy Neutron. You know what I'm talking about? It's like these weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's these weird 2 nano things that like follow Jimmy Neutron. I don't know. I'm getting off topic, but
I completely don't know what you're talking about.
it's
But
okay. Nobody knows what I'm talking about half the time. Um. So yeah, they're small aliens and takes them to school, and wacky hijinks ensues.
Wacky hijinks.
And
Basically.
like what's funny in this short? Like it sees the kid keeps getting bullied and stuff, and he's also bullied in the classroom when the teacher is present, but she doesn't give a flying shit about it. She's just like sitting there. She's like, I remember she's doing like some weird ass like
Science experiment.
scientific like experiment, and he's like, help. And she's like, Toby, I'm doing a science experiment. I'm like, bitch, how dense can you be? Oh yeah, no, and like also too, I remember like freaking one of the acts of bullying was like they were doing like some sort of science presentation, and Helvetica was talking about the wasp or something, and she's like, "Oh, they tracked around the trash can. Who will be a volunteer?" And then like he just points to Toby and raises his hand, and she's like, puts him in the
Toby.
trash can, like, and the teacher's just like,
Stupid.
cool, get an A. Like, I don't get it.
Can we also talk about how Helvetica's she had a whole PowerPoint presentation for some reason, except it
Oh,
looked like a poster board, but it was like electronic.
well, that's just foreshadowing that she's the daughter of the big evil corporate man.
Exactly, because there's so much foreshadowing and nuance to this movie, Griffin.
There's more symbolism and foreshadowing than Pulp Fiction.
I did realize that Helvetica is just the name of a font. Did you know that? Did you realize that?
No, I did not. I actually did not realize that.
Helvetica Black. I don't know why they decide to make that her name, but it's cool. I do know what you're talking about with the teacher not giving a fuck because
Oh no.
Helvetica like goes over to the fish tank and she's about to eat this
Oh.
this fish whole. And the teacher's like, whatever, do your thing.
Yeah, she's like, I'm a piranha. I don't know why I was quoting Finding Nemo, but yeah, she was gonna eat the goddamn fish, and the teacher's just like doing her own goddamn shit, and then like fucking Toby's just like, no, and he's just screaming, and then the teacher's just like twirling her goddamn thumbs, and Helvetica's just eating. Well, she didn't eat the fish, but she spat it out. But still,
Yeah.
you didn't even. I know she was, dropping shit in a beaker, but you didn't even notice that. God damn! I
I don't
hope you
know why
get fired.
she probably will. But after that, what happens after they like fall off onto a roof somehow? How does that even happen? Do
I
you remember?
don't. They fell out of the window after some commotion, and they
Yes.
broke their arms.
Some commotion. I think like the aliens attacked because they wanted to save they wanted to save Toby's fish, his one and only true friend in the school.
My friend.
His friend. So yeah, at the end of episode 2, they break both of their arms, and the aliens leave. I think because you don't see them
Yeah.
again until the very end of the movie.
And then I think Toby still has the one ring of power.
The one ring of power, the LGBTQ plus positive rock.
Oh yes.
Oh
Oh,
yes.
you wanna go to episode 3 then?
Episode 3 after Helvetica, and well, I'm forgetting. I completely forget like what I think episode 3 is episode 4 in the movie.
Something like that.
I
It's
think yeah. Episode 3 is like the fourth segment of the movie. But episode 3, there's the third short is probably my least favorite
it was really
because
lame.
yeah, because I just hate these characters. Um Mom Thompson and Dad
Yeah.
Thompson. That looks like I mentioned this while we were watching it. He looks like what's his name? The dude from Saturday Night Live. What's his name?
I don't
You
know.
know,
There's a lot of people in Saturday Night Live.
the dude he dated Ariana Grande. You know.
Oh, Pete Davidson?
Yeah, he looks like Pete Davidson fell on really, really, really hard times.
I mean, he already has.
He has, but
But
even worse. Like
it's actually
40 years later.
it's actually the guy from 2.5 Men, like the brother of Charlie Sheen in the show.
Oh, John Cryer, right?
Yeah, John Cryer.
I think that's his name. Yeah, I never watched 2.5 Men.
Yeah, all I remember is that they killed off Charlie Sheen because he was Charlie Sheen, and then like they had some weird like John Cryer had a hallucination of his brother, but instead of Charlie Sheen, for some god reason, it was Kathy Bates. That's all I remember.
Jesus Christ. I never watched 2.5 Men.
You know, please don't. Anyway,
But
episode
yes,
3.
episode 3, the worst episode. This episode focuses on Mom and Dad Thompson. They have a strained relationship because they both work at Mr. Carbon Black's company, and I guess they don't have any time for their relationship or something like that. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. So of course, what wacky hijinks can ensue that can bring these two characters closer together? What do you think happens next, Griffin?
I don't know. Wyatt, go tell me what happens.
Well, the mom and dad find the rock, and I forget exactly what they wished for. What did they wish for? They were like, "I wish that we could just."
I wish we were closer or something like that.
Yeah, I wish we were closer. And then boom, they become one body. I don't know how they don't.
Yeah,
explain.
they did the fusion from the Dragon Ball series.
They did the Dragon Ball fusion. They wore the Batara earrings.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh God, I'm not gonna go off a tangent on Dragon Ball.
No, let's not.
Let's
not.
I was very interested in explaining to you what the Batara earrings are, but I'm not going to. But Dad and Mom Thompson, they're invited to like this party held by Mr. Carbon Black. And may I mention, this is the whitest party I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. So they arrive at this party, right? And they are fused at the hip. And for some reason, no one notices. Everyone's like, wow, cool costume, guys.
Yeah,
because this is a kid's movie.
Oh yeah, and one rule of a kids movie, you just gotta be real fucking dumb.
You just gotta be dumb. Nothing has to make sense. If anything made sense, or if logic existed in this film, none of these events would have happened.
No, there won't even be a movie.
There won't even been a movie. As soon as that first wish was made, they would have like put that shit into like a vault, in the CIA like underground facility or something like that, never to be
Yeah,
used again.
this belongs to the museum.
This belongs in the museum, or America would probably misuse it somehow.
Yeah, it's probably probably classified as the same artifact as the Ark of Covenant from
Yeah.
from Indiana Jones. You know that ending of Raiders of the Lost Ark where you just see a guy wheel it away in a warehouse. Yeah, that's probably what they did with the magic rock.
I hope that's what they did.
Oh, the alternate
But
ending.
anyway, again, not much more to really talk about with this scene. They go to the party, wacky hijinks ensue. They get the rock back, they unfuse, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, we're so much closer together," and blah 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 blah. And
Oh yeah.
then Toby Thompson's like, "Let's rewind a bit," and then we go to episode 4.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, also too, he was trying to get wasn't he trying to get the rock back from like there was like some sort of like
Helvetica, right? He was
yeah,
trying to
some
get the rock back from Helvetica, and they're both in. Oh no, are they both in Cass? I forget.
yeah. Oh yeah, she got the rock. She's like, I wish these casts were off, and both of them had no cast. And she's just like, just me. And then he got his cast, and he's like, oh man, it's so stupid.
Oh yeah, there's like a wish that happens where like I wish all you guys would go crazy, and then everyone at the party starts fighting each other
Oh my
because why
god.
not? And then the only logical wish is made by Toby Thompson where he's like, I wish everything went back to normal. Oh,
Yeah,
that's how they unfuse. They're like, I wish everything went back to normal, and then no one was angry anymore.
just I think didn't they accidentally wish that they go crazy? I feel like it was an accident.
It
'Cause
was an
they just
accident.
it reminded me of this like that one scene from the anime Code Geass. I don't know if you remember where he accidentally like obeys like commands someone to go kill other people.
Oh yeah.
um
No spoilers. No spoilers.
oh no, I ain't spoiling it. It just reminded me of that.
I do know what you're talking about.
I'm like,
It's
oh my
like,
god, it's like one of the it's like them animes I watch.
but Griffin, let's move on to episode 4, which I think the bar is very low, but I think episode 4 is my favorite.
I
Short.
don't know. I kind of cringed a lot in episode 4.
Okay, you're gonna have to tell what is your favorite short episode then?
Oh, that's hard because they're all
They're all
pretty
bad.
bad.
They're all
And I
bad.
might maybe this one, but it's just the subject matter. It's just like disgusting.
It's gross out humor, but it has the guy from Fargo in it, so that's the reason I like it so
William
much.
H. Macy.
Yeah, William H.
Oh yeah, and
Macy.
also Kat Dennings.
Kat Dennings is also a prominent part in this film, but I think she's mostly shown in this part. I think.
Yeah, she's like the most prominent in this part.
Yes. Big fan of Kat Dennings. Though I don't think though what else is she in? She's in like WandaVision and like Marvel stuff.
She was in the first two Thor movies,
So,
WandaVision, and Two Broke Girls on
No,
CBS. It's another freaking sitcom you don't need to
nothing
watch.
nothing I've watched. Tell us about episode 4, my friend.
So Kat Dennings, her character's name is Stacy, and she's the older sister of Toby Thompson, and she's a tutor for this kid whose father is like a germaphobe, and like she goes into his house, and then wacky hijinks ensues again.
ensue.
But this time, it's a giant booger monster because like the kid like wishes that his dad experiments were working or something like that.
The kid wishes that his dad's experiments could work. So he like picks his nose and then like one of his boogers falls into like this radioactive weird machine or something.
Yeah. And like for some reason it like the booger monster eats children because the children eats boogers or something like that. It's so dumb. And I remember I remember, was it Toby? Was Toby the one that got grabbed by the booger monster? I think he
I
did.
think so.
He
I
gets,
think it was. Yeah, I think it was at the end, like near the end.
yeah, at the end of the episode.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then William H. Macy comes to the rescue.
Well, before that, the thing that made me squirm is like the weird germaphobe kid. He's like, if this giant booger monster eats kids, I bet I could scare him by eating my boogers. So he just picks his nose and then he like wags his finger from the monster. He's like, if you eat my friend, I will eat this booger. Like, I'm gonna eat your children. And I'm squirming here. I'm cringing more than I did in the entirety of the Saw franchise. And because I don't like that shit. It's disgusting. And I'm just like,
The best part is that it worked.
It
Like
did.
the giant booger monster got scared. Oh wait, we're moving past the best part. The kid's name. The kid's name Noseworthy.
The fuck writes the shit? Oh wait, his kids.
His kids. The Noseworthy residents. Stupid shit.
Oh my god.
But they get out of the house, right?
Yeah.
They get out of the house. William H. Macy uses one of those hyper track beams from Ghostbusters to kill the booger monster or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And that's basically the end of the short. At the end of that, Noseworthy and his dad, I forget his name, William H. Macy, conquer their fear of the outside.
Did?
Yeah, they did. And may I mention that the Noseworthy residence was way ahead of our time because they predicted COVID 10 years in advance.
Oh, they really did. Now I need to watch a sequel movie with just these characters during 2020.
Exactly. It's like after they got out of their fear of being afraid of the outside, suddenly,
oh God,
the return of the king. and then Frodo shows up, and it's like, hey, it's that guy,
Mr. Frodo,
Mr. Frodo.
oh, Mr. Frodo.
But I guess we should talk about the final episode. But I guess before we should get into the final episode, shouldn't we talk about like the prequel? Like they had an episode 0, didn't they?
Oh my god, like literally it was just a staring contest and that was the joke. Like they just stared for the whole time. It's like, haha, it's funny. It's funny, guys. Look.
Basically. And
wacky.
Then like wacky, it's real wacky. And then throughout the entire movie you see these kids periodically like having a staring contest.
Yeah.
It's dumb. I don't know why. Robert Rodriguez's kids aren't really that creative. I'm sorry. They're not really they shouldn't be screenwriters.
Let's also make a scene where they have a pizza palace.
Basically.
It's so dumb.
Do you want to talk about episode 5 or should I? I guess I guess we can both talk about it because it's the final part.
It's the series finale.
It's the series finale, and canonically it is the 5th episode out of 5 episodes or 5 shorts in the movie. So basically I think this episode comes like right directly after the Noseworthy stuff.
Yeah.
And for some reason, everyone in the neighborhood starts coming together. And then Carbon Black is like, this rock is really cool. I'm going to make it do everything that my black box invention can't.
Oh, yeah. And then he's like, I wish I had more money. And then, like, this, like, tower of money just sprouts below him. And he starts doing this weird-ass jig. Don't you remember?
I remember.
He just starts jigging on top of the fucking money stack.
And, and this guy's an idiot. And then he's like, "I wish I was." So the girl is like, "Do you really think you can get away with this?" And then Carbon Black's like, "Oh, only wish I was joking." And then the money all falls
Oh
apart
my
because
god.
he's dumb.
Well, I mean, it is a kids movie. I mean, all villains are dumb.
All villains are stupid. So then what happens next? What does he wish for? He wishes to become the most powerful thing in the universe. And what
Oh,
does he become?
he becomes the final boss in a JRPG. Uh,
Yes, he becomes the Iron Giant.
yeah, yes.
So basically,
It's the
right
giant
now.
Mansley.
So all the kids come together and use the power of the rock or something to defeat Carbon Black, right?
Yeah.
I think. And then what happens next? I think like the baby comes in, like the baby that can speak.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're like I don't think we mentioned this earlier, but they're like, oh, I wish it's like something about like smartest person in the room, and then it was like the baby, and that was the joke.
Oh
It's like a
yeah.
talking baby.
For some reason it reminded me of like that episode of Rick and Morty where the dog becomes
God.
sentient. You
Oh
remember
my
that?
god. Well,
Is that
no,
is
no,
that a bad
because I
reference?
will. No, because I watch good shows. I'm kidding.
I thought it was a
Don't
good
don't
episode.
kill me.
I've only watched like the first two seasons. Except
Uh,
everyone was saying like Rick and Morty is so cool. It's like an anime. And I'm like, it's not.
don't you ever say that to me.
Yeah. As soon as I watched the Pickle Rick episode, I was done. But yeah, if I ever get the wishing rock, I'm gonna wish for Pickle Rick because it's the funniest thing
It's,
I've ever seen.
it's fun. He turns himself into a pickle.
Classic comedy.
Funniest shit I ever seen.
But basically all the kids, right? They come together, defeat Carbon Black.
Oh yeah, and then the
And
baby's like, "Oh, we need to do some weird ritual thing." I
yeah,
forget.
the baby was saying like we're overloading the rock with our wishes because we're greedy, stupid humans. So I guess Robert Rodriguez and his kids were trying to get some sort of message in at the end there.
I guess. Yeah, the greed of man can corrupt an environment.
The greed of man, the most horrible sin of all.
And so they did
Um,
this weird. So they did this weird ritual, and they destroyed the One Ring of Power.
they destroy the One Ring of Power, and the rainbow disappears, and it just becomes a regular rock,
Oh
I
yeah,
believe.
and that was really it.
And that was really it. For one thing that I noticed, Carbon Black, he says he wants to become like the most powerful thing in the universe. And the best thing that the Rock could come up with is this giant robot.
Actually, though, yeah, he can literally become God himself.
He really could, like, man, what's his name from Gurren Lagann? Simon. I
The
like I like the end.
the anti spiral, the anti spiral. I
Yeah, it's
forget.
been a while.
It's
It's been
been
a
a hot
while.
minute. It's been a hot minute. Yeah, it's where we
Uh,
trash deal with it.
can do you but Griffin, at the end of the movie, then everything becomes good and Carbon Black suddenly is not evil anymore or something
Yeah, he renamed his invention the Green Box.
because he's carbon friendly now. Is that why his name's Carbon?
Oh no! I didn't even think of that.
I just figured that out. I didn't even mean that. Just stumbled upon because he's really into fossil fuels.
Oh my god.
Okay, so maybe there were some hidden stuff in this movie that we did not catch.
Well, this is just a dumb kids movie at the end of the day, you know?
At the end of the day, it really wasn't anything. At the end, moral of the story, they all become moral of the story, everything's fine. And then that last line, remember the last line, Griffin?
What was the last line? I kind of forget now.
They're like, remember all the kids walking in the sunset like the outsiders?
Oh my god.
They
Oh
were
yeah,
like,
like we're the outsourcers. We're doing this for Jenny.
ridiculous. But they say, I wish we were in a Hollywood movie.
Oh yeah.
So dumb. Like, come on, Robert. You can tell. I bet Robert came up with that last line, not his
Oh, that's
kid.
so. Hey kids, isn't that such a good line? Yeah, put it in.
Whatever you say, Dad. Whatever you say. Uh, but that's basically it for shorts. As do you have any like? Did you notice any like fun facts in any research you did?
No.
Because there is one thing that I did see is that they were going to make like a DS game.
Oh yeah, no, didn't they already make a DS game and a Wii game?
They were going to make a DS
Was
and
it
a Wii
now?
game. It was
Oh, it
announced.
was canceled.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
oh,
canceled.
oh, damn.
So
I
we are
really
never
want to
going to
play
see that.
Shorts the game.
I really wanted to. Odds are I could have played it because I played DS around that time.
Yeah. I don't know. I
Um,
don't think I would like play it though, because it was weird when I was a kid. Most of the games I owned were like licensed games, just based on property I already seen. So this probably wouldn't be one of them because I never watched this movie.
dang. I still can't believe this. Yeah, every time I talk about this movie, it's like no one's ever heard of it. You know
For
what I
good
mean?
reason. Yeah, I know
For
what you
good
mean.
reason. But for some reason, enough people went to the theaters and this movie made its money back.
Like 9 million.
It made like $9-10 million, something like that. Um, and the people in this movie went on to make nothing good ever again. Well, except for like, I guess Kat Dennings, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say she didn't like the MCU, so she's
Yeah.
loaded.
Well, really like the kid characters, I think. The girl that played Helvetica, I don't think she was in anything else after this.
Yeah, and Toby Thompson. The only thing
Hmm.
I remember him being in besides this movie, like I don't know if this was before or after this movie. He was in that horror movie Orphan. I don't know if you
Hmm.
watched Orphan. He was an orphan.
He was an orphan? No, I don't think
Yeah,
I've
he was
seen
like
that.
the son of like the family that adopts the evil orphan girl.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at his page right now. He's 25. It's weird to think that the people who were kids in these movies are like the same age as us. It's
Oh
strange.
no. Oh no, we could have been in shorts, Wyatt. We
We could have been in shorts. We could have missed out on our fame, Griffin.
no.
But that's really all there is to say about shorts, in
This is
all
like
honesty.
there I think we talked for a very long time just explaining just how dumb this movie is. I know like a kids movie is an easy target, but like come on, it's
Hmm.
just like it's so bad.
I went into yeah, I started the recording expecting us to just shit on it for like probably 90% of it, and that's probably what we did.
Yeah, for like almost an hour now.
Yeah, almost an hour. It's crazy stuff. Um, but despite the bad CGI, um, actually, why am I saying despite? The CGI made it horrible. Everything's horrible. This movie isn't good. Shark Boy, if you're gonna watch a Robert Rodriguez movie, watch Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I can't believe I'm recommending Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Like,
I
like,
mean, yeah, that's
unironically, I'd rather watch that again. Like, I'd rather watch
or
that
just
3 times than watch Schwartz again.
or just all his other kids movies.
Yeah, or any of his other kids'
Spy
movies.
Kids 1 with the thumb people.
I do still have to watch Spy Kids.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, it's been a hot minute.
you know what this movie did remind me of? Sky High a little bit.
Oh my god, Sky High. Oh, we need
That
to
wasn't.
review that.
We
We need
need
to do
we
that
need.
movie sometime. But I feel like I feel like the entire joke already I see in the feature is like, haha, My Hero Academia ripped off Sky High.
Pretty much, pretty much.
Basically, which it did.
I do need a good refresher on that film. But why am I even calling it a film? It's like a movie. It's just a movie. It doesn't have the right to call itself a
Yeah,
film.
the film.
A film.
It's
Like
a
it's to a higher level.
Yeah, like film is a sophisticated way of saying a movie, basically.
Ugh, Jesus Christ. Because if I call shorts a film, I'm putting it up to the same caliber as like Goodfellas or something.
What are
And
you
I don't want
talking
that to
about? It isn't
happen.
on the same caliber.
Okay, and on that note, how about we end this podcast?
Oh, please. I think we talked about this movie way too much.
We talked about this movie has been talked about more like in one sitting than it should ever be talked about. No one should talk about this movie ever again, and I don't think we will ever talk about this movie again.
Thank you.
So I don't know what the next episode is going to be on. We'll figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Well, until then, whoever's watching, we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.